October 10th, 1991. I married Jack Donald Lewis at the Polk County Courthouse today. We had talked about having Ann McQueen, a notary, marry us at some point and had gotten the license application started as there was a cooling off period required. We had gone to the courthouse for a tax deed or foreclosure sale and were outbid on everything. It looked like a totally wasted trip and we were a bit deflated. Out of the blue, Don says, "Let's get married right now." We were both wearing blue jeans and I was wearing a black tank top, and Don was in his typical white t-shirt. Before a notary and a couple of strangers called in as witnesses, we were married. As a weird aside, the date was 10/10/1991 and it was at 10 minutes after 10 a.m. In 1991, if you add the first two digits, you get 10, and the same for the last two digits of the year. We didn't plan it that way. I just happened to look at my watch, making one of those mental notes that someday I'd want to tell somebody what time and day we got married. To celebrate, we stopped at Wendy's burger joint on the way home. In 2019, I was asked about my engagement ring and wedding band, and this is what I recall. Don never really proposed until the day we were married. When he and Gladys divorced, he said he wanted to give her a year to be settled in and be sure that's what she wanted before we would get married. It was always just assumed that we would marry if we were ever both free to do so. He did give me a plain gold band shortly thereafter, but it wasn't noteworthy enough for me to have captured it in my diary. In the months between the time of Gladys's marriage and ours, Don had bought a 4-carat cubic zirconia CZ solitaire for me at a yard sale. I think he paid $14 for it, and the street value was about $60. There wasn't a magic moment of him proposing with it that I recall. He just bought it and handed it to me while we were standing there. I loved it, and it was a beautiful ring. My grandmother always commented on how much she liked it. So, somewhere along the line, after Dawn was long gone and I had married Howie, I gave it to her. When my grandmother died, my mother offered the ring back to me, but I declined. As for the gold wedding band, I was feeding a serval. Can't remember if it was Cheyenne or Arizona, and they reached up through the wire, sliced it right off my finger. I used to tell that story all the time to illustrate just how dangerous and strong these cats are. It wasn't worth repairing, given that Don had been gone a long time, and I don't still have it, so I don't recall what I did with it.